Welcome back to Can Angels Fly? I'm Nancy, and I'm here to respond to an email I received this evening after creating my video called Saturn Dasha, where I talked about how Saturn manifests, the energies end up manifesting in my life, literally, tangibly. And in the course of that video, I made a statement. And that statement was that I'm ghetto fabulous. And so the person really wanted to know, what does it mean to be ghetto fabulous? Especially in relationship to my own personal chart, my birth chart, and the limitations that Saturn sets forth for me relative to the second house of Taurus, which is the good life, the life of luxury. It's the quality of the foods that you are able to partake in, and not only foods, but entertainment, art, those kind of things, love, sex, money, jewelry, you name it, wine, you name it. What do you need in your life to feel secure, grounded, and stable, to make life worth living? Are you a have or are you a have not? Now, with Saturn standing guard of my second house to ensure that I don't get to partake in those things quite easily, at least not through the 10th house door nor the 11th house door. The 10th house is through the career and ambition, in a way I could enhance my reputation, publicly, or socialization, maybe the people that I keep company with, that I date, that I have exchanges with, even people that I lie in the bed with. No. Saturn says to me, and people like myself, no, Nancy, you can have these things, but you have to go about it another way. You can't enter through the 10th nor the 11th door. But you do have the option to move through life, to figure out how to get it another way. And then maybe later on in life, much later on in life, after you've learned, then just maybe I'll let you go through these two front doors, the easy way to obtaining your wants and needs in life, so you can be a person that has and gets it with ease. And the reason why Saturn, I realize why Saturn will move out of the way later on in life, if he decides to, is because if you have figured out how to go about getting into a particular house, in my case, the second house of Taurus, and partaking all of the contents of the house, in this case, some of the pleasures in life, things that bring security, that help ground you, cars, as I mentioned, money, love, sex, music, art. What is it? What can fulfill any one of the person's five senses? Any, those things. And make them very comfortable in this life. Once Saturn sees that you've obtained access through the various other portals that it is not blocking, then it permits you to enter through the doorways that it blocks. Once again, in my case, the 10th and 11th house. Why should he waste his time when I could just slip in through a side window or a back door? I'm in there all the time. So, in that case, I've matured, I've learned. Pay back any karma. He'll let me in the easy way. Anyway, this video is about responding to, what do I mean by ghetto fabulous? What is ghetto fabulous? If you refer back to the video I did earlier, I think I named it Saturn Dasha, the reality in the matrix, or something like that. Or the video I did before that one, and it focuses on Saturn in general and its influence upon a person's life, my personal life. I used my own personal chart in that video, and I think it's called Godfather Saturn. It has you hemmed up, come find out what you're dealing with, that video. I forgot where I was going. That's a whole nother video. But anyway, I was dealing with Saturn and the energy and the limitations, because Saturn, it limits, it restricts, it denies, it demands order, discipline, and structure. I know somewhere along the way I'll forget this, so I'm going to interject it right now. Right now, I'm ghetto fabulous for this video. Yes, a little gaudy, just for the video. Saturn says, Nancy, I'm denying you. I am restricting you of these things by way of the 10th and 11th house. However, you can go about getting it a whole nother way. But you have to learn the way. Saturn in my chart is blocking the easiest way to these things. So I move forward in life. The thing that I want to share is now, I forgot to mention that Taurus is a fixed sign. Therefore, that represents I have fixed wants and needs. I know what I like, and I know the quality of what I like. It may vary from thing to thing, but I know what I want, and it does not change simply because of the circumstances or situations in my life. I want what I want. So how do I get it? Now, this is the making of a state of hell in a person's life. It can be. But once again, that's another video. So what I wanted to say in the beginning before I forget, remember, Saturn rule is to be disciplined. Nancy, you must be disciplined. I'll give you that clue. So imagine me and a girlfriend who does not have the restrictions that I have. Nancy, let's go shopping. She doesn't know that I have this restriction. I do. She has no idea of where my account is, how much I earn, or anything. Nancy, let's go shopping. Every other day, every weekend, let's go shopping. Let's stay out all day and go shopping and go to lunch, taking a movie, all day. Well, the clue here is be disciplined with yourself. Nancy, or other people like Nancy, you know that you're restricted to move forward in these areas. This could possibly lead to hardship, but it's totally up to you. You can go turn up all you want to, but when a hardship comes, don't cry. Or you can acknowledge that this is a lesson in your life, and therefore you might decide, girlfriend, I can't go shopping with you, and you won't go. Or if you go, realize you're going to window shop and leave the checks and the credit cards and your money at home, that kind of thing. I just want to interject that because I'll forget. Now, what do I mean when I say ghetto fabulous? For me, okay, remember Saturn told me to do it a different way. So I'm just going to cover just a few select ways of being ghetto fabulous. Of course, it really starts with the comforts or the tangible goods in life that can quench and satisfy or address the titillating feeling associated with any one of the five senses. Rather, it has to do with my taste, Let's cover some things that have to do with taste. That's how I'll do it. I'll cover each sense. The taste for what? In the other video, I talked about water. Water is a necessity. No, Saturn has not totally restricted me from drinking water. Otherwise, I would die. I'm granted water. But what is the quality of the water? Well, I can go to the faucet and turn it on. Maybe under Saturn's restriction, I don't have a filter. Or I don't have bottled water. Or I can't have a filter, but I can have bottled water. But it's this growth that takes place. They have cheaper brands of water, and then they have like Dasani or Fuji. So those are the differences when it comes to Saturn. And so it is, okay, I want filtered water. So Saturn says, okay, well, be disciplined, Nancy. Save up for however long it takes. Remember, Saturn deals with in a 30-year span, and it's as long as you like. Saturn is about longevity, old age, long time. So take as long as you like. Save for what you need. Figure number one, go out. Find out how much the filters cost, the various filters, what they offer, yada, yada, yada. The maintenance, these are the things that Saturn demands. And save up. You can go buy your filter. Then you can have some filtered water. Until then, you better get used to that faucet water, the rainwater, whatever Saturn permits you. How about, still dealing with the taste, is food. Most people have a budget for food. Okay, now it becomes a question because the budget is minimum or limited in some way. That's what Saturn does. What you gonna eat? You understand? Depending on what you choose to eat affects your health. So what you gonna eat? And some people working with Saturn and other aspects, these are just examples, may choose to buy cheaper food, eat the 99-cent, sandwich or something like that consistently as a response to these limitations. And a person like me said, okay, well, this is how much I got to work with. I get all the newspapers. I'm running up on people's porches. This is gonna get serious. I'm running up on people's porches, snatching papers that I might not even get. So I sit at the table, grab me a cup of coffee, and I'm going through all the papers, circling every single sale in the area, figuring out the dates and when it's offered, counting up my money that I have, that budget that I have, and then I gotta get up and line up a ride or whatever I got to do to get to each and every single store, spending exactly what I said I was going to spend. And what does this permit me? It permits me to buy better quality of foods, larger amounts of food. And that's another thing. If I find it on sale, I buy in bulk. So what I end up doing, I buy fresh. I sit here, come home, I cut it up and bag it up in freezer bags. Bag after bag, like I just got through cutting greens, cleaning bulk of greens, it's around the holiday, cutting them up, washing all these greens, cleaning, picking, cutting it, and bagging in the freezer bags, stacks after stacks and stacks and stacks of greens and bell peppers and onions and, those kind of things. Going if chicken, I go buy whole chickens, and do what? Most people don't do this nowadays. This allows me to be able to sustain my life and the people under my care. I buy whole chickens, and what do? I cut them all up in sections. Legs, wings, breasts, stack after stack after stack of food. I can feed me and those up under my care, and even to the point that I can feed visitors. See, with Saturn restricting certain things, again, it can limit my ability to even supply my basic needs if I don't follow the rules. So I have to govern myself well with Saturn. That's all it's requesting. So come the holiday, Sunday dinners, it's Ghetto fabulous up in here. You understand? When a person comes to get a glass of water, they can drink filtered water. It's Ghetto fabulous up in here. Now, Ghetto fabulous really refers to a person that does not have a lot of monetary strength. And if at all misused or abused, they can really be or exist or find themselves in a state of poverty, hardship, states of deprivation. Do I meet with those? Yes. Even though I perform these acts I'm sharing with you. Another thing that I'm good at, yes, I get to shop. I do. But I learned this a long time ago. I'm so attracted. When I go into the store, I'm so attracted to clearance. I go in Target, tag, and so I'm there and I'm browsing. Do I buy everything that is there? But what I have noticed down through the years, whatever I need is there when I need it. I can go and I go in Target like, oh, I need towels so bad. I went to Target where they're 85% off. And I turn up. And then it's this thing, I'm still on this budget. Saturn is restricting. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? So it's choices to be made. Like I said, I'm drawn to clearance. Before I go anywhere else in the store, I'll always go to the clearance section. And my mind is always ahead. What do I mean by ahead? Holidays are coming. Well, you got to start 3-4 months ahead. It's more on a subconscious level for me now. Let's say, okay, a holiday is coming or a birthday is coming, whatever I'm going to celebrate. I need to keep myself entertained. When I see the clearance, I walk past. I find this clearance. Wow, what could it be? Red tag. Now, I didn't bring my glasses. Oh yeah, I don't even know what the tag say. It's worn out because I've had it for a while. But I bought this, and I was going to give it to a friend of mine, but I fell in love with it. I needed shaken, not stirred, kind of thing. I'm ghetto fabulous. But I actually think I found this for like $2, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Or my Christmas glass. I do like to sip every now and then. This is a giant champagne glass for a big girl like myself. And I actually got this for a Christmas gift for my daughter. And I think that was like $5 from Five Below or something like that, Or flowers from the dollar store. And a vase from the thrift store. Yeah, those kind of things. And that's another thing that I do. Another example is seeing. You just lose the sense of seeing. What can satisfy that? I want to see beautiful things. Like I said, flowers from the dollar store or from the thrift store. Example, I had a wall and it was just dead space, void. I said, oh, a mirror would look great there. I look at my money, I ain't got it. But I got this old bare wall that's void, that has no life. So I go to local retailer and search for a mirror to see that they start at $50 and up. So I'm in the store, cussing and fussing, because that's what I do. So I'm in the store, arms flinging, these men cost so much. Saturn said, do it another way, Nancy. Okay, I got you. So I line up me a date with me, myself, and I. You're always welcome to come if you like. But on this particular date, it was me, myself, and I. And I looked up in the directory all the thrift stores in the near area that I can get to. I say within 20 miles. And I set out for my date with me, myself, and I. And I went out and all day long from one thrift store to the other. And like I said, what I need is always there. What did I find? One of the most beautiful mirrors. For guess how much? $15, I would show you. Now that wall is filled with an absolutely beautiful mirror with much more personality and character than any of the others I saw at the retailers. Paying full price of $50 and up, and my arms flaring, and I'm fussing and cussing because that's what I do. I'm ghetto fabulous up in here. Or, as you see, my jewelry. Remember the second house covers jewelry. Even my jewelry, thrift stores and dollar stores and beauty supplies. No, none of it is real. And Saturn says, Nancy, I'm restricting you in your second house. Jewelry and gold and silver and platinum and all those things, pearls and diamonds, all up under the second house. Nancy, you can have them, but go about it a different way. And so I do. Scavenger hunting at the thrift store. Like I said, dollar stores and different things like that. How about this? buying all the bits and pieces when I'm at different stores like Michael's and stuff and I see clearance, buying all the beads and stuff when they're $1 or $2 and creating my own jewelry, those kind of things. I'm ghetto fabulous up in here. What does it mean to be ghetto fabulous? Well, you, me, we have our wants. We like what we like. We want what we want, and we need what we need. And it's not going to change. You lived a whole life that has shown you who you are. It helped develop your beliefs, and those things are easy to change. And Saturn, in my case, standing at the door, at the house of Taurus' second house, covering two particular doors, the 10th and 11th, saying you can't come through this way. The easiest ways to get to these things. No, you can't. Find another way. What is another way? I overcome the limitations of Saturn in order to partake in some of what I want and some of what I need, you know? I often refer to art. I love art and stuff like that. Can I go to a local gallery with high-end paintings, $5,000, $10,000? No. Saturn says, you can't get it that way. You better go about it another way. So, for my current situation, what have I done? When I've been out, when I was in school, I took up painting. I learned to draw. Going to the thrift stores, you run into everything and anything. Other people find out you do certain things, they give it to you. And what do? My back room, my den is full of my own art. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. I'm ghetto fabulous up in here. It's like taking a difficulty or a limitation, something that can be complete hell and debilitating and detrimental to you in the physical world and mentally, and ultimately spiritually if you're inflicted enough. If you can't find a way to do it a different way, and you literally find a different way to satisfy those wants and needs, it's like maintaining your sanity to some degree. And the true gift here that I see that Saturn is offering me is to understand all of this stuff is temporary. It's simply for show. It's simply to keep ourselves entertained and, to get pleasure out of this experience. But it is not your soul. And that's what I was beginning to say, and that's a whole nother video, that this type of restriction can be a catalyst for a person to experience a state of hell. If I never came to understand what Saturn was saying to me or teaching me, I could be running around here in pure hell. One other thing before I go, I always talk about my hair. There was a time that I did get to go visit the beauty salon quite often. And I'm going to tell you how Saturn worked too. I have gone to the beauty salon and say, for instance, I'm getting braids. It might take about 6 hours to have my hair braid. I had the stylist get into it. I had this happen several times. Get into it with another braider midway through my head and go to fighting and left me sitting there with half my head done 3-4 hours later. What was I going to do? I've had different things like that happen to the point I said, no more. And I really started pondering on the techniques that they did, looking in magazines, educating myself. I have 4 girls, so I have a lot of practice now in doing hair. I found another way to satisfy a need, a want, or I can't stand it. Now I'm going to give you one more and I'm going to let you go because it's getting long. And this was just a response to a person that was interested in understanding what it means to be ghetto fabulous. I will show you my table. It's a mess, but I have it set for the Thanksgiving season. Dollar Tree, as a matter of fact. I'm going to show you. Let's see. I'm going to show you my house is a mess. And I just set that up for y'all. But this is like my little table. You really can't get the gist of it. But these little things that you see help me maintain my sanity in this world. It's my little pleasure, my little thing. I was going to say that. Anyway, I'm in the middle of doing some renovations and redecorating in my house for the holidays. Maybe I'll take you on a tour when I'm done. We'll see. And I'll tell you how I got the stuff, where I got the stuff, how much it cost, and how I stayed within the confines, the demands of Saturn, or how I dealt with the limitations, the demands to be stringent and things like that. Heck, I was going to talk about another thing. I forgot. Anyway, I'm not going to make it long, and I hope hope you understand what it means to be ghetto fabulous, taking things to another level, and knowing you ain't got it, but end up working it out in a reasonable manner where you don't put yourself in harm's way, like the inability to pay your bills or buy food or provide the necessities of life for yourself and for those up under your care. Thank you for coming to Get Angels Fly and being ghetto fabulous with me. Until next time, bye.